Hello, Artverse. This is Rachel. I am very excited to start the Artverse artist interviews. And today we have a very special guest, Mariana, or also known as Mari Ink Arts on Twitter. I'm very excited to show her art because, unlike many of the artists in the Artverse right now, she is one of our few non photography artists. And I really am excited and thrilled to have her on today because she's about to head internationally. So this will be a great opportunity to get to know her and her art before she heads out back on the road. So welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank, thank you so much for your time and thank you for this interview. I feel honored to be in the Artverse community, and I'm so happy to finally meet you, Rachel. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we were just talking before this live broadcast of how we really like seeing each other's faces with our names and our voices. I just think these live interviews really bring everything together. So let's get started. So I see you're standing in a studio and your name is Mari Ink Arts. Can you explain a little bit about what kind of art you do?
Yes, so I do alcohol ink arts that I use alcohol based inks. They're very pigmented. And then I mix with pure 99% alcohol and I put it on the paper. It has to be synthetic paper that doesn't absorb the alcohol. And then with a hair dryer or like a blower like this, I have to move the inks around, and the alcohol evaporates really quickly. And then the inks stick to the paper, forming shapes. So I do that, and then for the NFTs, I take pictures because I use also metallic inks with the inks. So the metallic inks they fix in the paper in a different way. I never know how they're gonna be. I know the colors that I'm gonna use, but I don't really have the power to control how the inks flow. So then for the NFTs, I take pictures in a way that I show the gold because, as you know, as a photographer, it's very difficult to photograph gold. And then I put a little bit of movement, and that's the way I do my NFTs.
Wait, so you said synthetic paper? How do you find
Yes.
synthetic paper? Like, what is that?
So synthetic papers, they are it's like a plastic, but they feel like paper, and they don't rip. Like even if I try to rip it, I can't. See, like it gets mushed, but it doesn't rip. So then I put the alcohol on the paper, so the paper doesn't absorb. So when I put the air on it, it spreads out, and then it forms the shapes. So that's the way. And then when I want to correct some parts, I throw more alcohol on top, and that part dissolves the ink again, and the ink gets reactivated. And then I blow again with the hair dryer, and then it sticks in another way. Each time it makes a different shape. So as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So yeah, this is going to be part of the new collection. So yeah, it's fun. I love doing it because it's a way that my mind goes somewhere else. I just lock myself in my little studio. It's a little studio that I have here. I close the door, I put music, and I go like in my own world.
That's amazing. So how did you start with this? Because for me, I've never really seen much, like many people doing this kind of art, and I think you're
Yeah,
probably the first person I've talked to.
yeah. It's a new medium. I started in 2019. I was going through like a rough period in my life, and I needed to just get out, and focus in creating. And I started looking online and searching acrylic pouring. I don't know if you know acrylic pouring, when you put acrylics, and then some people use the hair dryer also. And then when I was researching that, I started seeing that all the paintings I liked were alcohol inks. So I'm like, alcohol inks, I never heard of that. And I was in Brazil. I went and I tried to find the paper. I couldn't find. People didn't know about it. So then when I came back to the US, I bought the inks and I started trying. And then I created my own Instagram account just to show my friends. You know, it was not, I never thought of like being an artist. I thought artists would have to be like a special kind, you know. I thought they had to know like how to draw and things like that. But then I started doing, and people liked my Instagram account, and then it was growing like that. I was practicing every day. But for me, it's not work, you know. For me, it's like a way of, when I feel like I'm not very good and in real life, I just lock myself in here and I just like to work. And then when I saw NFTs in a year ago, and I didn't know much about it, and I started hearing podcasts and things like that, and I thought it was only for digital art. I didn't know I could do. And then a friend of mine said, no, it's for everybody. So I just jumped right in and started doing NFTs.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Um, so I see it kind of to me looks like watercolor. Have you ever done watercolor painting before? And is it there much difference?
It is different because I tried watercolors. The paper really absorbs the water right away, and when you try, for me, every time I try to do watercolors, it's only blobs. You know, I cannot really work with it, and it looks like watercolors because it has this fade of the inks, but it's a different medium. It's completely different. And watercolors, you use more the brush and things like that. So it looks like watercolors, but they are a little bit more intense. The inks are very, very pigmented. So it's different. A lot of people think when they see the process, when I throw the alcohol, they think it's water, but it's a new medium, and people are knowing better. So what I want also with the NFTs is to show the world this new medium, you know. So I'm happy to, sorry the noise. I'm happy to show people, and I want people to try it also and things like that.
So would you like to would you like to show us? Can you show us on camera here, or is this something?
No, I can show you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm like, I need to see this happen.
Yeah, just turn here. I think you can see, right?
Yes, this
Can
is
you
great.
see it?
Uh-huh.
And it's gonna be a little bit loud because of the hair dryer, right?
Yeah.
So what I do normally, these are the inks. See. So let's see this. Let's do blue because everybody loves blue, right?
I mean, I love blue.
Yeah. So I'll do a little bit here.
So when you go into your studio to create something, do you have like colors in mind, or do you have like some sort of movement you want to do, or do you just really go in with no expectation?
Normally, I choose the colors that I
Mhm.
want. They are speaking to me at the moment. I have a book, like I have this book where I have all
Oh wow.
my samples of colors. Oops, it's a little bit. So you see, so then I come and I look at the book and I see which colors are like talking to me at the moment. And then I choose the colors, but I don't really know the movement that I'm gonna get. And then I have to work and rework until I get something that I'm comfortable with and that I love. So here, for example, I'm putting the alcohol. Then I put the gold metallic. Then let's say this is the blue. And then I put a little bit more.
Is there a reason why you use such a high concentration of alcohol? Does it just work better if
Yes,
it's like
it works better. If it has too much water on it, it doesn't evaporate quickly, you know? So, and then for example, and sometimes I use two. So one is warmer than the other, okay? I know it's. I mean, on the process, when I do like speed up, it looks super fast, but it takes time, you know. Each wave, each little thing. I'm not gonna bore you with this. Because we don't have time, but I'm not gonna bore you with this because we don't
wow.
But see, like,
wow, that's gorgeous.
And then if I want to for example, I didn't like this part, so I just come here and then I dry it again. But it takes time, like. And I don't think we have time to show, but you know what I mean? Like, it takes time, but it's nice. It's fun. Like
that. I mean, it was just so fascinating. Every time you moved your hair dryer, it would push the colors and the gradations in a different way. And I was just like, this is amazing.
Exactly. And then sometimes you get just like one piece of the darker color runs more. So I really don't know what I'm gonna get. Is that I have to redo it and redo it and redo it until I'm like, oh, I have to stop now, you know? Otherwise, I'm gonna mess it up.
I guess for me, I would do what I do the same with watercolor. I would just keep fixing it and adding more. And then do you ever get to the point where you're brown? Like where it's just like many different colors?
That happens. That happens. In the beginning, it happened a lot. When you mix too much the colors, you get gray, you get brown. Yeah, but then with time, you learn that you cannot blow. You have to blow on the outside, you know, so they don't. You cannot let the two colors mix. Or when they're mixing, you put alcohol in the middle, so then they separate again. So everything is like, yeah, I know. Sorry, I get excited when I talk about this.
No, that's a great. You're giving us all your trade secrets. I'm like, ooh, I want to go do this now.
And another secret, it has to be. I have a C here. It has to be cold because if the alcohol gets too warm, the water separates, and then the waves that I do, you know, they don't get the clear lines. They get all like weird. So then it has to be cool. It has to be in a cool room. sometimes I work with a sweater because it has to be very cold. And then you can do it because it's alcohol. They don't. If you put water, it won't mess it up. And you can do it in ceramic. You can do it in acrylic. This is acrylic, so you can do it in glass. Not on other substrates. You can choose that doesn't everything that doesn't really absorbs the alcohol. You can use to do alcohol inks.
So after you've made the piece of art, do you seal it with anything? Or
Yes. If I'm gonna sell the physical piece, I have to seal it. This one I sealed with a spray. There's a special spray that you put that it cannot have alcohol on the spray. It cannot be solvent with alcohol because then it's gonna move. The inks are gonna move. So then I put 3 coats of one spray, and then I put 3 more coats of UV protection because the alcohol inks are very they fade away when it's direct sunlight. These ones are all sealed, so it's okay. But if you put it without sealing, with time they fade away. You know. This one I put the spray and then I put a coat of resin on top, so clear resin. Yeah, you have to.
wow, that's so cool. So you do a lot of these alcohol ink arts. Do you still do the acrylic arts as well?
No, I stopped
Okay.
after I started. But now some days I'm like, I wish maybe I'll go back. But I stopped the acrylics. I want to do fluid acrylic, one that looks like watercolors. But it's gonna be in the future. So the art that I do to sell, I have to spray. The art that I do NFTs, I don't have to spray because as soon as I paint, I take a picture. So the colors are very vivid, you know. And what I like in the NFTs is that I know that the colors will never fade away. They're gonna stay 100 years in the blockchain, and the colors are gonna be the same.
Absolutely. They are preserved. And honestly, I'm just so enthralled by how well you take these pictures and make them into NFTs because they're just beautiful works of art. Like really, really gorgeous in person as well as in digital. So do you sell these in
Coming from you is like,
do you
thank you
sell
so
these in
much.
a gallery or do you have like your own studio that you sell or a website?
Yeah, normally I sell to. It's funny because when I had now I'm redoing my website, and when I had it on the website, it was not selling easily because I think when people see it in person and they see the gold that moves when you walk by, things like that, it sells better. So the ones that I sold are for friends and friends of friends. You know, when they see in somebody's house, they come and they look for me, and then they see it. And it's also that I noticed I had some art in my house, and people sometimes they come or just to visit, or and then they take it everything that is hanged on the walls, because even when I have the works on a paper but not framed, it doesn't draw attention as much when you see them like this hanged, framed.
I love the frame and presentation. I think it looks so well done. I I want you to make like a wall size version of one of your pieces. I think it would be so amazing.
So I'm gonna tell you, I worked for a restaurant here in Boca. They hired me to do a mural. So it was 400 inches by like a person size. So yeah. So what I did, because it was too big and I cannot work with a hair dryer on the floor like that, I did one piece that is the size of my table. Then I took to scan, like in super high resolution, and we printed in a wallpaper. and it's there now in a restaurant.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my goodness. Do you have a picture of that somewhere, like on your website?
I have a picture of that. I have a
Okay.
picture on my. I didn't. I still. It's a new restaurant. I still have to go there and take the proper picture, but I took before they open, so I have that.
That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. We need to go. Oh, we have someone who has seen that mural. She remembers seeing the photos and she loves it. It's Fur Caggiano.
Fur. Yes, she's my friend. Yes.
I
Thank
love
you,
all
Fur.
the love. I
Thank
don't
you.
know if you can see the comments, but we have some wonderful comments coming in from YouTube of just people saying hi. They're lovely. You're amazing. Lots of
Oh,
hearts. So when we're done with this, you should go see
thank
the.
you. I cannot see the comments. Thank you so much.
Okay. Oh, we have Cora from Brazil watching. That's amazing.
Yay, Brasil! Brasil.
Are you heading to Brazil very soon? Is that what I remember? Or are you heading to Colombia?
Sorry?
Are you
No,
heading?
I'm
I
going
think
to
we're
Brazil now Friday. I'm going to
right, right. That's
I'm
why we
going to
had to do it
Brazil.
this week.
Yes. I'm going to stay 1 month and a half. I'm going to stay 1 month and a half there. Yes. See my
Is that
family, my friends.
will you be doing art as well down there, or are you taking more of a vacation from art?
No, what I decide, it's funny you asked. What I decide, because I cannot travel with the inks, they are highly flammable. And the alcohol that we have in Brazil is different, is not isopropyl. I decided to do foundation new collection with digital art that I'm doing on Procreate, and I'm putting all the art during this month. I'm gonna make some art if I get inspired on Procreate, and then I'll put on that collection.
Wow, that's so awesome. I think honestly, I just want to go and buy some ink art right now. This is so beautiful. I'm going to share my screen so that people can see your website here. Okay.
My website. My website is under construction.
Yeah, well, it's still beautiful. So right now you see my ugly screen. So we have Mari Ink Art here. This is your profile on Twitter. I love your banner. I think those are four such beautiful pieces of art. And then we have this website, which I just found through your bio link. And I just wanted to highlight how beautiful these museum quality pieces of art are. Like the ones with the black background. How did you do that? Is that just
So
black paper?
no, those are acrylic sheets, square acrylic sheets, and then I painted with the alcohol inks on top, and then I put the movement.
Wow. Just really gorgeous.
And they,
So, yeah.
they were exhibited in Times Square on NFT NYC. And they were also in the gallery, the Rug Gallery, the Rug Gallery, sponsored by Times Magazine. So,
Wait, so what are these animated ones?
yeah, they're all animated. The ones on Foundation are all animated.
How did you do that?
There's a software that I take pictures of my art, and then on the software, I put a little bit of animation.
Oh my gosh, I mean, it was so subtly done. I didn't realize until I looked closer. It was,
They're
oh,
all like this. All of my art on Foundation have this little animation, but it's very subtle because I want people to really look at the art and enjoy and be looking at it for a little bit of time.
mhm. No, these are Beautiful works of art, absolutely, and it's such a fun aspect seeing how you do it. Um, I wanted to ask you questions on how and why did you get into the NFT world? To me, these pieces of art, you don't normally think of non-digital pieces of art as NFTs, but here you are. How did you get in? You said you just were hearing about it?
Yes, I was hearing about it, and I was once I was reading a chat about people talking about alcohol ink art, and they were saying it was not light fast, or like that the inks were gonna fade with time. You know, like some people are like to be controversial and be like say things like that. And I was like, of course, I don't know because it's a new medium. I don't know how well they will preserve in 50 years, or if I put it, or if one day I go to a museum, if it's going to be preserved it for 100 years. So I was like, when you think and you're like, people are saying that, and I was feeling a little bit down because I try to keep it for longer. But then I heard about NFTs, and I'm like, what a way of keeping my colors the way I really want them to show, and it's not gonna fade away. The way the collectors get it, it's gonna be like this forever. So then I said it's great because I can show my art, my passion, and people cannot say bad things about it anymore.
That's amazing. You didn't just come in for like the quick money or things like that. You came in to really preserve your art.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
And then like it's a way of keeping it beautiful and vivid, and I know it's going to be there, like nobody can say anything anymore.
Wow. Wow. Just so amazing. So amazing. So how have you found the NFT world then? Like, have you been able to connect with people like all around the world? I know you have some sales already under your belt.
Yeah, I
How
think NFT world, when I got in with a set mind of doing what I do. But then here you see so many arts, and you see so many mediums, and you see like people showing different 3D art or AI art, and then I'm like, listen, I can do this, but it can be so much bigger. So I did already some collabs with musicians. So I have two pieces that have music with it. And then I did another collab with Illustrator and other painters. So for example, is one I have a collab with her. So I think collabs are amazing because you can get out of your little bubble, and you can explore how your art can grow. And then it's not like the artist's art anymore. It's something else, because it turns into something else. And that, for me, NFTs is the best to make contact with artists all over the world. You have friends all over the world, and you feed each other with information. And then now I want to do 3D. Now I want to, like each day you wake up and you're like, oh my God, what if I do this? What if I do that? So it's not anymore me in this studio locked in my own. I know I told you I go to my own world, but then when it's done, I can transform it in other ways. So I'm very thankful to NFTs for that.
that was the most beautiful, perfect answer I've ever heard. That was beautiful.
But it's true if you think. Like it's not
Absolutely.
only like sales or not sales. Just enjoy that you're here, even if the market is down now and people are not selling. The whole thing is not that. The whole thing is like the connections and the way you can get better with your art. And I'm very thankful.
I am thankful for you for just saying that. I feel that right now with the market down and people are figuring like readjusting themselves. I think what you just said is really why like the best reason why to be here is those connections, that ability to share exactly what we're doing and connect with people all
Connect.
around the world.
Yeah, and think outside the bubble. Like just explore and go bigger. You know. And what a best way, because before, if you wanted to do a collab with an artist, you had to ship your artwork and then he will do or she will do something and ship it back to you. Now it's like send an email, they do it, and then it's endless. Like it can be something else.
So when now that we're talking about collaborations and something else, what's next? Are you going to create something different? Like, do you have a project in the works? Do you have like a different kind of way to bring the ink art to the next level? Like, do you have anything you want to share with us?
Yeah, I have to say, Rachel, of course, everything is like has ups and downs, And a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago, NFTs time is completely crazy. But I was down. I'm like, oh, my art is not good enough, Like I see amazing people, and I'm not selling, of course, because of the market. And then I was down. But then suddenly after the NFT, when I see NYC, that I saw so many people in real life, you get the energy from them. So, and then you said you wanted to talk to me. Like it's nice because Twitter, sometimes you think nobody's listening, right? And then I started thinking in a different way, and I'm like, listen, I'm here. I have to really enjoy what I'm experiencing. Like I said, connecting with people and stuff. So I'm doing a new collection. First, I'm going to Brazil just to relax, and I'll practice in my Procreate, and just to let the creativity flow. And then I'm coming back, and I decided to do a collection on the feelings that I was feeling on the NFT world. So it's gonna be like intense, like some pieces are going to be darker and stronger, and some pieces are going to be, because it's a roller coaster, right? So I want to put on the paper the emotions that I was feeling. It's good to go through that, because now I can work, and I can put abstract art is very sentiment. It's very what you're feeling. So you need to go to the ups and downs so you can transfer this to the art on the paper. So I'm doing the collection about feelings. I don't know the name yet, but it's gonna be like all the feelings that I felt during this whole year in the NFTs. So some are gonna be beautiful and colorful, and others are gonna be more intense. But that's when I come back. When I come back from, I started some of them, but when I come back, I'll really dive in.
So do you work a lot with color theory, or is it more your personal feelings on how what emotion those colors represent?
I work with the colors, what I feel the day that I'm here. I try to, even the music, I try to put the music to get into the mood. So when I'm, when I want to represent like darker things, I have to put a music that is more, touches me in a way. And then when I'm happy, I put Brazilian music, and then I just paint away. And so I choose the colors based on what I'm feeling. But sometimes, of course, I have to think what works, right? I'm not going to start mixing colors without thinking of how they're going to show. So it starts with my feelings, and then I have sometimes to tweak it a little bit, not to be all brown.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, like that this is going to be an incredible sort of reflection on your time in the NFTs in a way that, in my opinion, helps other people get involved in your emotions and those feelings. Unlike, I'm a landscape photographer, so I take pictures
Yes.
of landscapes, and it's a very different feel. But with you and, like you said, abstract work, it's more of that visual storytelling with colors, with movement, and you do that so well. Um, do you have a favorite color?
Sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Sorry. Do you have a favorite color?
It's freezing. Favorite color? Favorite color?
Yes.
Yeah. I love blues. I love the blues with gray, and I don't have favorite color because now I saw this. It's very colorful. It depends on the day. It depends on the days. But I love blue, dark blue and light blue, with grays. I think it's beautiful. I like earth colors like this also. So it depends. It depends. Depends.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, okay, we've talked a lot about
And
your
I
art.
think also,
Oh, sorry.
no, I think also what you from Artverse, you always say work on the description. So I think this new collection that I have to do. I have to work very well on the description. That is difficult for me because I don't speak English as my native language. But I think for people to connect with this new work that I'm going to do, I need to go deeper on the description. So when they read, they can look at the art and feel what I was feeling then.
Do you think you would collaborate with a writer for the descriptions? Am I
If I
cutting out?
will, sorry,
Would you be open to collaborating
a little bit.
with a writer?
I would. It would be my dream. Or poetry, like do something with somebody that writes poetry and then it will be my dream to work with somebody like that.
Wow, I'm just putting this out into the metaverse that anyone who wants to work with Mari should send your portfolios to her. Because it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that's about to happen. I know it. Okay, so
Hopefully.
oh, for sure, for sure. I have no doubt. Um, I'm going to move on to the next question, just so that we can keep our interview within a shorter time frame, since you've been doing quite a bit of talking, and I don't want to keep you on for too long. I think we've hit most of my questions, but I guess one question I would like to ask is if you could tell your beginning into NFT self one piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
um to go slowly, to not to like I nowadays I produce a lot, but I don't mint. I like to do like a curation in my works. And so because when you get in and you see people selling, and then even when you start selling, you think you have to continue putting out because people are looking at you. And I think like do it slowly, do it on your own time. Do a little bit of a curation, on the arts. Like if you want to just work because it's good and it's great for the mind, work and then look at all of them and then choose before you put it out. I think that's a great advice. And I would go technically on the technical side. Um, do one wallet for your works and do a different wallet for buying and minting and things when you do it outside. Like if you're going to buy a PFP or something, don't put it with your wallet, your main wallet where you have all your work. I know, I do the same. I did the same and I still do it. But we have to tell people when they start because then it's very difficult to transfer so we have to tell people before you start, have one wallet for your works and have another wallet just to play around. That's it. important one that I should hear.
Actually, that's a really great thought because I see a lot of people being hacked. And when your wallet is hacked, your whole identity of what that art is connected to you through that wallet, um,
Yeah.
it's kind of a mess. So that's actually very smart, where you can have fun, collect, be exposed that way, but then everything that you mint yourself, um, as yours is
Yeah,
your own.
because now I wanted to create one just to put my work, but then I have to redo another foundation. Like you have to start from zero, and then so
I mean, we were talking about this the other day, how a lot of us are saying we're still at the beginning. And I know it's oversaid, but it's true. We've been in a bear market, I forget what they call it, a bear market for, I don't know, a couple months now. It feels like years.
yes, it does, it really does.
So I see a question or a comment on YouTube, and Jackson says, "I would love to see a physical piece by Mari in hand." I was wondering, do you sell these online, or will you sell these online, or will you like send the collector of the NFT the physical piece of art?
In the beginning, I thought of sending the physical, but a lot of collectors didn't really want the physical piece, and so I stopped offering. But I'm open to the collectors to talk to me. I send I send two pieces to collectors, but without them asking. I asked after they bought. I asked if they were interested, and I said I want to give you a gift, and they gave me their address, and I shipped to them without connecting NFTs with the physical on the description, because a lot of collectors don't want that. So, but I'm open to if somebody wants, and even the skulls. When I did the skull um, collection, the whole thing was to offer the physical with the NFTs, but nobody really wanted. So in the end, I took it out, and I sold them separately now because some friends came to my house and they liked it. So I sold to them, and this one is the one that lasted, and I put it in my studio.
That's so crazy to me that they don't want it, because I'm like, I want it. It's
I thought
weird.
it was gonna be a big hit, but it.
Well, I think that just goes to show that NFTs and the selling of our art as that NFT, it's such a different aspect to art selling, that we can have both. We can sell our art in the real world, and it's going to be separate from selling our art as a NFT. And I think you are so smart and ahead of the game by doing both. You have this sort of like duality to your art, and I love that. I love that.
But I want to say something. The paintings that I turn into NFTs, I don't sell the same in real life. Okay, so I have pieces that I sell only physical, and the ones that I turn into NFTs, I decided not to sell, because I think my art is unique. Because even I cannot reproduce the paintings that I did. So I want the NFT collector to have the same experience as the physical collector. Because even when I'm shipping the physical one, if it gets damaged, I cannot do the same one, because of the air, because of the everything is different. I can use the same colors. So I said NFTs, I want the same experience. So it's going to be one NFT, and then if I don't know, if you want the physical piece, I give to the collectors if they want, but I don't sell to other people. I don't want them to have two different pieces in the world.
You truly are a one of one artist. That is incredible. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's so great. Well, I think we should wrap it up. We're hitting that 45-minute mark, but it has been so great seeing you and talking to you about your art. I've learned a lot myself. Um, we have a few comments already being like, amazing work, congratulations. Uh, and just lots of love on your art because you're just incredible. There's not enough great words, and I know my limited vocabulary when I'm live is not good enough to describe how spectacular your art is. Like,
Oh my God, Rachel, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you. It was a pleasure to meet you, not in person, but like on the video. And I said I felt so. I'm nervous, but I felt really good talking to you. You are a great host, and you've made the interview so smooth. And I really, really, really thank you for that.
the pleasure and the honor is completely ours. This is being recorded, so anyone who's watching can refer back to this on YouTube as well as Twitter Live. And I'm, yeah, I'm like, I don't know how to end this beautiful space.
Thank you so much. Please try, if you have time, try the inks, and I'll give you some tips if you need.
I absolutely will because this looks like so much fun. It looks like a very meditative,
Yes.
thoughtful thing. And as an artist, I'm like, I love that.
It's great. It's great. And I want the art to be shown around. You know, I want people to know what alcohol ink is, and I want the art to be more popular. I don't know.
Oh, I had a really random question that just popped into my mind. Would you ever make your own ink? Have you ever thought about that?
I've seen people making the inks, but it has to have certain quality because sometimes after you paint some inks, when you rub your hand, it comes out. This one doesn't come. I mean, my finger is dirty because of the, but this one is really good quality. Is a Copic color, Copic. It's markers refill from Japan. So yeah, so these are markers refill, so they are great. They've been doing this for years, and I prefer to use things that I know are gonna last. You know.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so, so much again. I hope you have a great trip to Brazil. It should be fun, and we should definitely be making an announcement in the Artverse and the newsletter when you come back on what's happening next for you.
Thank you.
Great. And thank
I
you
will
everyone
tell
for
them.
watching.
I will tell Artverse. Yeah, I will tell firsthand to Artverse, and then yes.
Perfect.
Thank you
That's what
so
I
much,
like
Rachel.
to hear.